Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. The numbers are in, and after 2 weeks, Madam Web is a box office failure. Easily. This article from Screen Rant likes to go into it and has some comparisons to the other not Spider-Man movies. In Sony's Spider-Man universe, Madam Web box office suffers huge second weekend drop, although the percentages for the drop-off from week to week aren't as high as some movies like the Marvel's 77% drop off week to week. The numbers from last weekend versus this past weekend, they weren't high to begin with, so the percentage drop isn't as big as other numbers. You can't really compare a Wednesday opening to a weekend opening, but is it Sony Spider-Man's universe worst? Yes, it's going to be. It's easily going to be. This movie had an $80 million budget, which is probably they're always underestimating if you haven't heard. More than likely, it was probably closer to 100 and 110. The worldwide box office hasn't broken $80 million. The likelihood that this movie will even sniff any sort of profit is minuscule at best. The new Spider-Man universe movie without Spider-Man in it? Well, no, that's not true. Peter Parker and Uncle Ben are actually in the movie. I suffered through this movie, and it was bad. We're going to get into that in a little bit. Starring Dakota Johnson suffers a significant week. You just wait. I'm sorry. Let's see. Hold on. How many people? Take bets in the comment section, although by the time you get to the comment section, you'll already know the outcome. But I'll do it here, live, while I'm recording. Title, huge second weekend drop-off. Tagline. Is that a tagline? Significant week 2 drop at the box office. First line in the first paragraph. Let's see what we got. Suffered a significant week 2 drop. This is so predictable. It's almost as predictable as YouTubers padding their content. That's a joke. Mostly. The superhero feature, which stars Dakota Johnson as a clairvoyant paramedic Cassie Webb, is the latest installment of Sony's Spider-Man universe, which does not include Spider-Man technically, which includes popular Venom movies, and then you can just stop right there, because nothing else after that was really all that popular. Reason being that people know who Venom is. When you get onto Morbius, and of course Madam Web, the general public do not know these characters. They are not familiar with these characters. They are not interested in going to see them. Word of mouth definitely killed this movie. And apparently, day one refunds also had put a massive dent in the wrong way, in the wrong direction, in the box office numbers. People were refunding this movie day one, that's bad. The movie opened midweek over the Valentine's Day holiday. If you want to call it a holiday. Some people, it's not so much a holiday, but that's another story. Earning a 3-day opening weekend total of $15.3 million. 3-day opening weekend. Valentine's Day was on a Wednesday. Huh? Though even if its head start is included, the 6-day total still marked the lowest opening gross for the entire franchise. Per Deadline, Web box office has dropped from 2nd to 4th place on the domestic charts in the second weekend. Was there really all that much out there to compare it to? Oh, let's compare the drop-off. 64% drop-off is not very good result. It actually dropped off 64% week to week. That's painful. So worldwide totals for Venom. It had an domestic opening of $80 million with a worldwide total of $856 million. People knew who Venom is. People knew who Venom is? People know who Venom is. Venom, Let There Be Carnage didn't quite make as much, only had an extra $10 million on the budget. It made $506 million. That's a nice, tasty profit. Morbius, coming in at $40 million. Morbius looks like it actually made a profit at the box office. No, that's the $39 million opening weekend. That's not the budget, you nit. With Madam Web having an $80 million budget, $15 million opening weekend, not doing all that great. When the movie does so bad that it actually tanks any possible future for the franchise. Forget about a new franchise. This is what happens, unfortunately, when you try to promote a Spider-Man movie without Spider-Man. And it is a wonder, why did this movie fail so hard? Well, I'm sure the number one reason is not all that many people know who Madam Web is, just like I said earlier in the video. The second one, it had absolutely no legs to stand on. People went to the movies, saw it for what it was, an absolute unmitigated drivel of writing, pacing, and everything else. Nonsensical storyline. Oh God, I'm getting PTSD just thinking about this movie. One particular part that I've talked about numerous times, it just makes no sense. I won't get into spoilers. Who cares about spoilers? You're stealing a taxi in 2003 with a dent in it, no license plate, go to the airport, and nobody cares. It's not talked about. This is the writing that was given in Madam Web, and you wonder why this movie was an absolute failure. Madam Web's week 2 drop-off was slightly better than Venom Let There Be Carnage, but there's no way in hell it's going to come close to those numbers at the box office. It's not going to break 200 million. Because its opening weekend was so much higher, Venom 2's second weekend gross of 31.8 million was still considerably above the new movie's scant 5.5. Wow, that is bad. I didn't realize how bad it was. Looking at the box office numbers, domestic and international with a $77 million 2-week total, there's no chance at all that this movie's going to make its money back. And because it was such an astronomical failure, again, I guess Sony was hoping to have some sort of, I mean, again, new franchise. Who are they going to put in this franchise? Madam Web, along with Venom and Morbius and, oh crap, Kraven the Hunter? Is that who they're supposed to be putting in? Or are they actually going to try and move forward with those villains to have the Sinister Six go up against Spider-Man? They can't seem to make a decision. And if you can't make a decision, have any sort of cohesion in your storylines, then why would anyone go to the theater and watch it? It didn't help. It didn't help. The actress herself came out and said, nope, this movie has nothing to do with any of the other Spider-Verse movies, Spider-Man movies. You tank your movie before it even hits the theaters. It's kind of unfortunate. They had an opportunity to introduce at least one fantastic female spider character, and they failed miserably. Is it because the movie was directed by a woman? No. Is it because the movie was headlined by 4 strong women? No, it's not. Contrary to what anyone wants to say online, and oddly enough, I actually went looking for articles that blamed man-baby incels, and I couldn't find any, which is actually a bit of a surprise. Maybe because it's Sony. That's probably it. If this movie came out from Disney, Marvel, oh, the shills would be up in arms talking about, you just don't want strong women in your movie roles. No, I don't want poorly written characters in my movies. And from beginning to end, top to bottom, that's what this movie was. Had a few live streams talking about it, and I'm sure we'll talk about it again because this isn't the end. No, actually, this is the end of Madam Web, the end of her franchise, the end of Sony's attempt to bring in an actual interesting character and maybe 1 or 2 Spider-Girl, Spider-Women, whatever their names are in the comic books. Sydney Sweeney in a Spider-Woman costume. Make that movie. Probably should have started from the beginning. But anyway, it's unfortunate. Tanked at the box office. Oh no. But let me know what you think. Did you watch Madam Web? Did you bother to go see it at the theater? Or did you wait for someone's review to come out and realize, nope, not wasting my hard-earned money and time on something like this? But leave a like, leave a dislike if you made it this far. I appreciate it nonetheless, and I hope to see you all in the next one.